To move the camera. Calling Robin. I'm sorry, Robin. I forgot to do it myself. All right, it's time for garden talk. In the garden with Carol Ann. Carol Ann is in the studio. We're going to talk about your gardens, and my gosh, sandbags are in the new. We'll move the camera now. This is fun live video, live radio.
That's
Good morning, Carol Ann. How are you?
Morning, Larry. Real good.
Thank you, Robin.
So you can't beat live radio. Here we go. Yeah, walk the camera across. At live radio, we got to get the camera in place. That sounds real good.
That's right. Your theme song isn't even over yet.
No, that's
technically
we're okay.
We didn't begin yet.
There we go.
There you go. Now look at perfect time.
There we go. Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Thank you, Robin.
Good.
Thank you. No, I see you.
Yeah, I see you.
So we got a lot of rain coming on Thursday.
Yes,
it sounds like possibly heavy wind. And, oh my gosh! And
yeah, so it's a time to look around the landscape and see, if you've got a few weak branches. We might get lucky. It depends on where it comes across, where it comes in. If it's a good ways above us, we may have some of the most gorgeous weather. If anybody's been here any length of time, you notice that sometimes it just pulls all that moisture out of our area, and we have these beautiful blue skies and low humidity.
You're more optimistic than the weatherman.
Oh, I know. But no, we that's the best case scenario. The worst case scenario is actually that storm could slow down a little bit and gain some strength. Let's hope it doesn't do anything like that.
But the good news is keep your fingers crossed and say your prayers so that nothing happens. If it all goes well, it'll be done by Friday.
By Friday, and the weekend should be a nice weekend, and it usually, it does. It will usher in a lot of times good weather again. It pulls that moisture and humidity along with it out, on its way, and so hopefully it does just dump some water. I know a lot of areas are getting saturated, if not already saturated, so there could be some standing water issues. Or, as you said, the city is doing sandbags for some of those lower lying areas. Yeah, and I mean, I know my driveway holds water. If we get heavy rain and if we get it several days in a row, my driveway is going to hold some water in it for a few days before it can perk down through, or till the retention ponds can lower and take some.
So I have maybe a dumb question, but that's not
those
unusual.
Are good questions.
It's not
usually.
Unusual. So you get the sandbags, and they serve their purpose. Friday, you don't need them anymore. Can you use that sand in any positive way in your garden?
Basically, just sand. It's dirt. Do you have a hole to fill?
Yeah,
if you got a hole to fill, or actually even, could you could, they're heavy at this point if they had water. I mean, they're heavy to begin with. Stack them in your garage. If you need sandbags,
then you'll need them
again.
Then
you may need them again.
Yeah, right.
I wouldn't just dump them out, because you don't need them. Stack them off to the side somewhere out of your way, and let them be. At the end of the season or whatever, you could you could start building a sand igloo out of them, or just as I said, you could, if you have some areas in the lawn that need a little cover over on some of the rhizomes on the St. Augustine or anything like that. Yeah, you could spread that sand out on that, and it wouldn't hurt anything.
So one little programming note about your show today. Yeah. Toward the end of the show, we're going to give away a prize package to somebody.
Yeah.
And the prize package is not only $20 to Bob Wine's Community Gardens and Nursery, but 4 tickets to the Shrine Rodeo.
Sweet.
On Friday, it's the Southeastern Livestock Pavilion. It's covered.
It's covered. That's right.
So if there's any leftover rain from the storm by Friday night, it should be gone. Mm-hmm. But if there is any, at least it's covered.
At least it's a covered arena, right?
And we need to thank Austin, Texas, not the city, but the people who make vodka. Tito's Handmade Vodka is produced in Austin, and Texas's oldest legal distillery. Oh, I guess it is the city. Okay. Anyway, so Tito's Handmade Vodka is the sponsor of. I guess of the tickets. I don't know. I was told to read that. So
right. But yeah, the Shriners Rodeo is a fantastic event. It's been how many years? Does it say
34,
how many? 34 years that it has been a fundraiser in this area for the shrine hospitals and the children's and families that are served by those. And I know a couple people who have been, and it's a wonderful, wonderful.
What would you do without them? Those children would be they'd have no help. So.
They'd have exactly. And so if if you're interested in going and could use a few tickets, they are good. Adult and children, doesn't matter who it is. You can take the family, or you and your neighbor can go, or something like that. Get a couple people together, and hey, if you get the free tickets, you buy the popcorn. I don't know. So for the group to go, so tune in towards the end of the show.
Somewhere toward the end of the show, we'll come up with a trivia question or something, and one person will get all of the 4 tickets plus the $20 for Bob Wines.
Sweet.
Can't beat that deal.
Sounds like a nice deal. And don't forget, that's this weekend.
Yes.
This weekend.
This Friday.
Yeah.
Storm this Thursday.
Right. So thinking of the storm and thinking about we've had rain, even thinking about the Zika virus and other mosquito issues, we have mosquitoes are everywhere. It's, and my understanding about Zika is if you were to get it, you're not even going to really know. You might have cold or flu type symptoms, which might even, depending on how strong your immune system, might even make you think you've got allergy or something, or you're just a little under the weather for a day or two. It's those who are ladies who are pregnant or considering becoming pregnant where it's the problem for the fetus on that. So, but go out in your yard, look for those low areas that are holding some water. They said mosquitoes can breed in a bottle cap full of water. That little tiny tablespoon of water is enough to breed mosquitoes.
Now, who else can say that?
Yeah, no, I don't know if who else could breed in a bottle cap, but take a look around, and thinking of the storm, look for some of those loose branches. See if you can't get some of those down. Be prepared to bring in the lawn furniture if it's lightweight, any lightweight statuary or anything like that. Well, one, you don't want it broken and blown around the yard. It's yours. You paid good money for it. Put it somewhere if it's going to be an issue, with blowing around or anything like that.
Somebody call it statuary? That's what you call it?
Yeah. The garden statuary.
I didn't know that. I never heard that before.
No?
What was that? Those little
the little
gnomes?
gnome. Okay. Don't say gnome. Little fairies and angels. Even lightweight bird baths. Some of the rosin bird baths, and things like that would be.
We have a phone call. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Yes. Good morning, guys.
Morning.
See, last week I had heard with the Zika and mosquito situation where they were asking people to build bat boxes for bats and put them in their yard. Supposedly, a bat can eat between 600 and 1,000 mosquitoes an hour.
Yeah.
What's the deal with a bat house? You know anything about how you would construct it, or how it should look, or what it should be?
There are plans online for them. It's usually they're made out of rough cedar or pine, something to where, you don't want it smooth. You don't want it planed off nice and smooth. So rough cedar, so that they can get their toenails, I don't know what you call their, the claws or whatever, up in there. And there's slots, because they will enter from the bottom and they will go up. They sort of look like an oversized birdhouse that doesn't have the hole on the front. It's one where they come up from the bottom. There are specific heights that they should be placed, as well as how much clearance they need from structures and trees and things to try to encourage them to come in.
Should you have anything in the house to attract them, like maybe some seed or something, or whatever?
No. It would just it would be more of a matter that they find it if they're within the area, and what you're doing is to encourage them to set up housekeeping by you instead of going back where they were.
According to that article, a larger adult bat can eat up to 1,600 mosquitoes an hour. That's what it said.
Oh yeah. Mosquitoes bats do a heck of a job on insect control.
Yeah. Well, maybe that'd be a good way to help get rid of that Zika problem, or whatever, and
Right.
by everybody putting a bat house up, I guess.
Oh, yeah. It sure can.
Say, yesterday I seen for the first time a couple of love bugs again have come back to visit.
Yeah.
And one was on my windshield, and one was on the white door of the house. But let's just hope that it's going to be a minor attack like it was last time, and not too many of them.
Oh, yeah. Because I too have seen, I saw a pair. And yeah, it seems a little early for it because it's just now. Yeah, it's the end of August, 1st of September. But let's hope the weather. We didn't get much of a season in the spring, so hopefully they're not going to come back with a vengeance here in the fall.
Yeah, I read an article a while back saying that there's a possibility that the love bug situation in this part of the state will not be as bad as it had in the past, and I can't remember the exact reason, but for some reason he said they're moving a little bit further west or north or something. I guess I don't know, but hopefully it's true.
Who's to say really on where they're going? I would not expect them to be much of an issue any much further north than Florida because of the freezing temperatures where the ground actually gets colder, being that they do pupate underground or under leaf litter, and where that ground gets really cold, that has a tendency to kill off tropical or subtropical, which we are, insects and pests and things like that.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go make an attempt to build a bat house and see what happens. I'll keep you updated on it.
All right.
Would there be a lot of bats that would live there? I mean, like a dozen or so?
Yeah, several should come in there. I think most of them would probably house at least, I would think, 6 to 12. I would think that if you've got them in the area, that they should find it if you've got it in the right location. Just like putting up bluebird houses, if you're putting out for them the correct food. Well, we don't have to put out food for the bats. We have it flying around anyway.
Yeah.
So
they basically sleep during the daytime, right? And then they're
pretty much.
At night. Is that how?
But yeah, pretty much. That's. I'm trying to see whether or not we've got a plan on here. If I could aim you to one, but I think I'll have to keep looking during the. When we have the break at the bottom.
All right.
But I mean they're gonna come if they're in your area, they should come to it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
There you go.
Bye-bye.
And just real quickly, I did look up, and the best material if you want to attract bats is to get some leftover lumber from the Louisville Slugger Company if you're building a bat house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're selling leftover scrap lumber for bat houses?
Louisville Slugger Company, yes.
Okay.
That makes the best bat houses. So.
Oh.
We'll take a break and be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Tuesday, intervals of clouds and sun and becoming breezy. Some showers and a thunderstorm or two around. There can be some heavier downpours that leading to flash flooding this afternoon and this evening. The high 84 to 88. Then mostly cloudy Tuesday night with a shower or thunderstorm, low 73 to 77. For Wednesday, variable cloudiness with a couple of showers and a heavier thunderstorm around, the high 84 to 88. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Looking to put your money to work? Florida Credit Union has a CD special, 25 months for 1.41% APY with a $10,000 minimum, federally insured by the NCUA, a government agency. These rates effective through August 31st, subject to change at any time. Visit one of Florida Credit Union's convenient locations today or their website at flcu.org or 352-237-8222. Don't miss this 25 months CD special. Again, the APY is 1.41%. Act now. Stay informed on everything going on in the Villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the Villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online. Are you a list maker? Got your day planner laid out to structure your day? Well, here's something to add to your list. Make time for something really important. Visit Highland Memorial Park, because how you prepare for that moment is so important. Why Highland? Sure, it's a beautiful place, but aside from the beauty and the quiet reflection, practical people will appreciate the many options. Take a tour and make some serious plans. The Highland staff will confidentially show you all options and payment plans. Call today, 369-1020. Highland Memorial Park. Peace and reflection for your family.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Tuesday, intervals of clouds and sun and becoming breezy. Some showers and a thunderstorm or two around. There can be some heavier downpours that leading to flash flooding this afternoon and this evening. The high 84 to 88. Then mostly cloudy Tuesday night with a shower or thunderstorm, low 73 to 77. For Wednesday, variable cloudiness with a couple of showers and a heavier thunderstorm around, the high 84 to 88. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
All right, 76 degrees and the forecast for Thursday. I know we got 2 days between now and then, but they're saying between 3 and 8 inches of rain expected to fall if this thing comes in the path that they expect it to.
So on Thursday, have your galoshes and your umbrella handy.
Be ready. And Tom made a really good point, Tom Schmitz, that if, in the event that the storm knocks out the electricity,
right,
you're going to need cash.
That's true.
So that was a really good point.
Yeah, and they always say that at the beginning of hurricane season is try to make sure that you've got a little bit of money aside because the ATMs and things like that, your debit cards aren't going to work if there's, and then,
Let's just hope that the cashier knows how to actually make change without an electronic device.
Well, but you got solar powered calculators. So.
That's true.
Or pencil and paper. It should work.
Are you ready to go to your next phone call?
Sure.
Good morning. Thank you for calling and for waiting. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Good morning, Carol Ann.
Morning, Sonny. Yeah.
I noticed on like crepe myrtles, it's the plant I really like.
Right.
The trees. You're getting a lot of leaves coming down. You think it was fall, although I still see plenty of green up there.
Sure.
I was just wondering if that's normal.
It can be. I mean, we never know exactly when the trees are going to decide that it's time to drop leaves or for leaves to begin to change color. We have had this summer has been very hot.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I'm thinking we may see some stress issues. Most of the time we think of cold stress on plants. Well, I think this year we're having some heat stress on them, and we were fairly dry at off and on in different times of this year. During the summer, we had a nice moist winter, but our summer here has been back and forth on being very dry and very, very hot. To now some rains when we're getting them. Some people are getting 2 to 4 inches at a time. So I think it's just a stress issue, and it should be all right.
When I was a youngster, I used to go to visit my aunt in Pennsylvania, and they had a back alleyway where that's where you went in to park your car in the garage, nothing on the street.
Right.
And the bats used to be around like a street light.
Oh, yeah.
The street light would attract the bugs and the bats.
And the bats would flock to
that. There was taking advantage of the.
Here's the luncheon counter. Yeah, they had the luncheon counter there.
We used to grab hands full of gravel and throw it up in the air, and if we put enough gravel up in the air, the bats would become so disoriented they'd actually come down and fall on the ground.
Oh, wow.
And, as soon as you stopped throwing the stone, they took off again after the bugs. But it was really, I thought it was kind of unusual when you could do that.
Sure.
Excuse me?
Oh, no, I just said sure.
Yeah, well, anyway, that's things they can't seem to do anymore today.
Well, yeah, a lot of times kids are out after. We're afraid to let the kids outside after dark anymore, I guess.
But anyway, that's my bat story for today. But the big thing was I was curious about that. I mean, the tree still looks good.
Right.
And but awful lot of leaves.
Right. Well, if you
hard to be mowing.
Sure. Then you might even think about going ahead and giving it one last, the last annual dose of fertilizer this time of year, just to help it get through that stress. Between now and say the middle of September on trying to get to finish up any fertilization, so that it would take it up. I might wait, though, until the weekend just because the heavy rains that are expected, but you might consider some fertilization for any of these plants that look a little stressed from the summer to help them be strong through the winter so that next spring they come back out real nice.
All right. Yeah, it's a good idea. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
WOCA, for the programming.
Thank you,
Thank
Sonny.
you, Sonny.
Nice
Yep.
thing to say. And P.S., just to promote the Facebook page that you created, there is a Facebook page that accompanies this radio program
Right.
that Caroline does, and it's there 24 hours a day, 7 days a
That's
week. and
right.
It's called In the Garden.
In the Garden, right. It's a Facebook group page, so just ask to be a member, and I'll click the approve button and bring you on board. Use it to either remind yourself of the show, or if you've got a question that you can't get online, or you want to do a visual, you want to send a picture that we can see and see what a problem
Yeah, I
might
was
be.
talking about that this morning. Let me
Yeah.
take a phone call, and then I'll tell
Yeah.
you my circumstance
Sure.
in my yard. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Carolyn, are you familiar or do you mess around much with the lime sizzler firebush?
Lime? No, I don't think I've known the lime sizzler. No.
Wow, that's a really neat looking one.
Is it?
I think it's kind of new the
Okay.
last 2 years, but it's really brilliant, like a lime color.
Ooh.
Taylor Nurseries has them.
Oh, okay.
When I was up there looking at the grapes and that,
Sure.
and I saw they stand out. I looked, I says, oh my goodness, I got to get
Ooh.
one of those. But I was just wondering if you did anything with them and how they do through the winter.
I haven't. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not real familiar. But your regular firebush, they do. They do fine. You're saying firebush, not the firecracker, correct?
Yeah, right. The
Okay.
lime sizzler firebush.
Okay. Well, yeah, they're deciduous, so they should lose their leaves, but should not be a problem. The firebush, I mean, it's a hardy plant for our area, so it shouldn't be a problem. I know when you start getting hybrids, sometimes they can be touchy, but no, it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. And on those love bugs,
Yeah.
I talked to over half a dozen of them, and they all said they're going north.
Oh, are they? Are they going to be
Yeah,
snowbirds?
we should be okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You send
Okay.
them north.
Y'all have a good day, right?
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
You too. Bye bye. Now, and to go back to what Hugh was saying on the bat houses, just real quick, I looked up a website, and this is eparks.org. Which is, I guess it's through the National Park Service, but it has a bat house, a whole section on building a bat house plans, different ones, and the free plans. So all you would be doing would be downloading them. There's some books that could be purchased through their website or on Amazon. Yeah, but they're giving you the links to these. Links to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service's beneficial bats, PDF files and things like that. So if anybody's interested in the bat house type thing, and I mean they're not so difficult. You couldn't do this as a project with kids, kind of stuff. And
Why not?
I mean, yeah, that's simple enough. That's what I'm saying. That
Oh, it is simple enough. Okay.
That you could do it with children or grandchildren or something. So it was eparks.org, and then it looks like /wildlife, keep going. But you should be able to find it on that. And all I did was Google bat houses or bat house plans.
That would be very cool, wouldn't it, to
Yeah.
see bats? I mean, you
Yeah.
have to wait till nighttime.
And we have some bats in our area. Actually, one had taken up residence for a day or two in my husband's office shed type
Really?
thing, and then it left just as easy. I think it probably got lost. Maybe.
How big was it?
They're little, the little brown bats.
little
They're
ones?
little teeny ones. We have, I don't know, we see 2 to 4 on a regular basis over our place. So
I have a question for you about that. When, like at dusk,
right.
you see birds. Maybe they're bats. That's why my
Little
question
ones
is: are they bats?
flitting around. Good chance they are bats
They're
because
just
they
like-
fly
like
erratically.
that's the word,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. And they'll and they will.
So how
They'll
would-
go
how-
back and forth.
Yeah.
And
so
and
they're up there. We just don't.
you don't notice unless you're looking up. If you have an open field and you're like say near a wooded area, you might see them. If
Especially
there's
at
water
dusk.
retention areas where there are going to be insect pests flying up, street lamps like Sonny said, around the street lamps, the convenience store lamps, that they're going to come down through those because the moths and night flying beetles and things like that are all going to congregate in those areas. So it's like a luncheon counter for them that they just come in. Woo, here we go. We got
That
the
would be kinda
smorgasbord
cool
going
to see
through.
that going
Yeah.
on. But why do they need a house?
It's just a protective area to keep them in your area.
Okay.
Because usually they'll roost
And
either
they find it
in barns. Yeah,
on their
apparently
own?
they'll find it on their own. I didn't read the
Does
whole
it
thing. That
Does
there's
it
probably
get
ways of
dirty? Do you have to clean it?
It probably would because bat
Stinky and all that?
bat guano, as it's
Do they poop
called.
upside down? Are they upside down when they're pooping? I mean, how do they do that?
I don't know. They probably poop on their way in and way out.
Oh,
I
really?
know,
They don't-
yeah.
so they
but I mean, you'll see. If they're coming in and out, and you don't know, you can start to look at the bottom of that because apparently it gets like a like a greasy, just from their body oils where they're going up in there, and it'll get a
really?
dirty, just like rubbing your hands on something. Yeah.
Oh, we're late. We got to go. We'll be right back.
At the Central Pacific Hurricane Center, Hurricane Madeline moving in with winds near 130 miles an hour. Forecasters also watching 2 tropical depressions, one off the coast of North Carolina, one in the Gulf of Mexico. A U.S. Treasury official says the EU's ruling that Apple owes Ireland $14.5 billion in back taxes could undermine foreign investment. And even in death, comic actor Gene Wilder stealing the show.
It's pronounced Frankenstein. You must be Igor.
No, it's pronounced Igor.
Tributes pouring in on social media for the 83-year-old who died Sunday from complications of Alzheimer's. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Geico presents a voicemail from your friend Tree Branch.
Hi, it's me, Tree Branch. So, about the other night, look, it's no secret your roof and I never quite got along. It's a roof and I'm a branch, and that's how these things go. But I'm calling to say I'm really, truly sorry about what I did to your gutters and skylight. And also, I'm not paying for the damage. Okay, bye.
Trees never pay for roof damage. Luckily, one call to the Geico Insurance Agency makes it easy to switch and save on homeowners insurance.
ADT presents What to Consider When Considering Home Security. An ADT sign is more than a sign. It's a line in the sand. On one side, your family. On the other, an uncertain world.
For over 140 years, more people have chosen ADT to help prevent crime than anyone else. Get ADT starting at just $28.99 a month.
Tested, trusted, proven ADT.
With 36-month contract for licensing and terms and conditions, visit ADT.com.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Your super minty toothpaste could be keeping you awake. Mint stimulates our alertness and energy, so consider brushing with something like baking soda. If your new date goes out of their way to show respect to you, yet argues with every receptionist and valet and restaurant server, that's a red flag for what's going to happen later with you. If you want to improve your cognitive function, take a walk in nature.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
All right, just about 25 minutes before 10 o'clock, I kind of stopped the commercials a little bit early because I didn't want to take too much of Carol Ann's show in order to do this. We have some things to give away, and I want to give all of it to one person, okay? Right. So we have $20 for Bob Wine's Community Gardens and Nursery, and 4 tickets to the Shrine Rodeo, which is happening Friday and Saturday. The tickets that I have are for Friday only. This is for the 7:30 show. These tickets have an $18 value. They're good for everyone 13 and up, I think Robin said, right?
No, I think she said that it didn't really...
Oh, every age.
Any age.
Every age.
So it can be it can be mom and dad and 2 kids or, however.
Children 5 and under are free.
Right.
So if you have, let's say, a 5-year-old...
And a 7 and 9. You're still good.
So, okay, I see. Okay, so we have 4 tickets to the Shrine Rodeo, 7:30. This is at the Livestock Pavilion. The rain should be here and gone by that point.
Right.
And I need to thank Tito's Handmade Vodka. They're sponsoring the tickets to the rodeo. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's how you're going to win these. Today's election day.
Right.
I'm not going to ask you to tell me who you voted for.
No.
But I would like to know who you would vote for if on the ballot there was a category for president of the gardening club.
Oh.
I want to know who you would vote for if there was a category. If you have, it doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong answer here. No. There's no wrong answer, I should say. Yeah. There's a right one.
The right one just gives you the tickets and everything.
Yeah, the right one gives you the tickets. So if you...
it's the first caller to mention a name.
Yeah, so just tell me who you would vote for if there was such a thing as the president of the gardening club. Is there such a thing?
In small gardening clubs, sure. They each have their
Are
local
you the president of any?
No.
Oh, gosh, well, you need to be. Let's
I
see
don't
if somebody
have time.
Vote for somebody we know. Good morning. Who would you vote for if there was such a category?
Of course.
Ah!
There you go.
See, this is what I expected. Right? Did I stack the deck?
I think you did. Larry.
Who's this?
This is Sharon.
Sharon, you got 4 tickets to the rodeo and $20 for Bob Wines.
Cool.
Sharon.
In answer to your bat guana.
Yep.
I have a customer, or did have a customer I watered plants for.
Right.
And they had a patio set sitting out by a fireplace, behind the fireplace.
Okay.
And I kept seeing all this little poop on it, looked like rat poop.
Okay.
And I couldn't figure it out. And then one day I realized there would be no reason that there would be millions of rats right there.
Right.
Or mice.
Right.
I decided it had to be the bats that were up in the fire.
Oh, up in the top of the chimney.
Okay. Yep, and they were roosting at night is my guess. Of course, I didn't go there at night to see if they were real, if that's what it was.
Right.
But that's what I
suspected.
Assumed, what that means. Anyways, that's my input.
Thank you
very much. And I can put those tickets to good use, I believe.
Oh, excellent. They'll be waiting here for you, okay?
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Sharon. Yep. So that if you've got a pet, you may find out that you have bats and you didn't know you had bats.
Yeah.
If you have a fireplace, if you have a chimney, on that outer wall, you may see some,
Why do they give poop such a pretty name? What's it called again?
Okay, guano.
Guano. Doesn't that sound like something?
Guano.
Doesn't that sound like something you'd have on a Spanish
a spread
menu?
Yeah, I was going to say a spread for That's only because we know guacamole. That's all.
Oh, is that what it is?
But yes, they give all kinds of. Because insect stuff is called frass, so it's
Oh, really?
Or some of
Do you know what I think I see on my porch is
lizard poop, probably.
Yes,
yeah.
It's got
lizard droppings.
They got like white tips.
Yeah, it's because
right?
and that's nitrogen within it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that's good for the
because
the soil.
They eat it. Yeah, and even the bat stuff is too. It can be hot though. It's use caution with bat guano.
Do you know I had a real bad roach problem, and thank goodness it's gone.
You got a lizard in the house?
I have had lizards in the house, yes, and maybe that's why the roaches are gone.
Yeah, they may have taken care of your problem, but also, and it's one of those things because we all sort of loathe the armadillos and possums and stuff like that.
No.
But they eat all that kind of stuff. They eat the bugs and all those. The cockroaches.
I don't loathe.
I forget how many how much cockroaches they say a possum can consume in an evening, but it's quite a bit of them, because you figure that little bugger probably weighs 10 pounds or more.
Did you ever corner a possum?
Yes, actually. Well, not corner, but yeah, I've had close encounters.
They do this.
And they hiss.
Yeah.
Agitate them enough, they play dead for hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my husband accidentally buried one once and it was not dead.
Oh no! Did it
was
itself?
playing pause. Yeah, dug itself up.
Hey, come on! I'm just kidding.
I was just kidding.
With you.
Come on. No,
I never heard the expression.
Yeah. Well, we left him for a long time before finally said, I guess.
Did I tell you my problem with my armadillo?
No.
I didn't tell you?
No.
All right. Well, for a while, I got a little backup story to take half a minute. I had a noise, and I thought I had a ghost, so I was calling it Casper.
Okay.
Then I figured out that Casper was an armadillo living under the house. Okay.
So we got Casper the armadillo now.
And I told Doug I got an armadillo named Casper. So, Doug told the neighbors, and now when I come home, they will tell me, your
armadillo.
Casper's been digging in my garden.
Yeah.
I said, well, he's not really mine.
Right.
It's not really my. It doesn't really belong to me. He just lives under my house.
Right. Yeah. Unfortunately, my dog took out an armadillo the other night and
had it for dinner?
No, I got him back in the house after, but I couldn't get him away before he went crunch and,
died?
Killed the armadillo.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was yelling at him, but
you would think that they couldn't bite through that.
He just sort of, And of course, then he hacked and coughed because I think a little piece got in his throat. And So there you go. Yeah, that's what you get for chewing on things you're not supposed to. And
they say we used to be like this. They say before humans became civilized, we would eat like this. Do you believe this?
I don't think I could crunch through an armadillo, and I don't think I would. They just don't look like they taste good.
The caveman kebab? Have you heard about the caveman kebab?
No.
It's a stick with just every kind of meat on it you can imagine, and they cook it. It's a caveman kebab.
Okay. Yeah, so a little pork.
So cavemen really were just
carnivores.
Vicious carnivores. Yeah. I don't know how they killed a cow. What did they have? I mean, cow's a pretty big animal. Just
spears, rocks, Come up with a club. Get it disoriented.
The caveman club.
Yeah, the caveman club. I wonder who was the president.
It wouldn't have been me.
Trying to get back to gardening a little bit and the possible upcoming extremely inclement weather is to look around, see what's going to catch and hold water. If you've got potted plants and things like that, consider getting them up closer to the house or getting them up in the garage. You don't want them to, one, get flooded or get blown around or get blown over and broken. You spent good money and you've raised these plants up, so why have them broken? So take the few minutes it takes, get them gathered up. Maybe even if you don't have place in the garage, get them closer to the house. Watch your lawn furniture if you have any out in the garden statuary, the bird bats, if they're the rosin, that they can blow over, and you don't want them broke. They're not.
And
cheap.
that blowing over part, by the way, 35 mile per hour winds is what they're saying.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna knock some stuff over. Loose branches and limbs, weak branches and trees, are going to be an issue coming down. The palm fronds and things like that. I know it's kind of hard right now to try to get a tree service out, but it's something to watch and keep an eye out on. And if you suddenly, on Friday morning, you get up and you got a whole bunch of limbs in the yard, you might start looking around at a couple of those trees and get a hold of Pride Tree Service and go, hey, listen, can you give me an estimate on removing that tree from the landscape here?
Yeah.
Or thinning some of these out, and that's when they start doing the crepe murder and hat rack and those things. All those limbs in those trees are not strong. Those are not good limbs in a tree. They're not strong, and so you can don't be surprised if you have some limb breakage on those kind of trees. The other thing to take out of your trees and stuff would be your bird feeders. They're already up off the ground. All you need is one of those to be blown away and into a window into your car or anything.
I want to amend what I just said because I just went to the Weather Channel just to see if they changed their prediction.
Right.
They're saying winds on Thursday from the south at 46 miles per hour. With gusts 88 miles per hour. Holy cow.
Yeah, that can be it can be quite a blustery day.
46 is the speed of the wind and 88 is the gusts. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and that's tropical storm That's not a hurricane.
It says tropical storm bringing strong winds and heavy rain. Watch for flooding.
Right. And a lot of that flooding, too, will come from that wind because it will blow the water back up into an area.
For our area, 3.49 inches of rain is 3.5 inches of rain basically expected for us.
Yeah.
Well, no snow anyway.
Oh, that's
It actually says that. No snow.
No snow.
Yeah, but what? 11 and a half hours of rain is what they're expecting. Wow. It's going to be a rainy day Thursday. All right. We will be right back. If you have any questions or just want to comment on anything Caroline is saying, the number is 622-9622.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Tuesday, intervals of clouds and sun and becoming breezy. Some showers and a thunderstorm or two around. There can be some heavier downpours that leading to flash flooding this afternoon and this evening. The high 84 to 88. Then mostly cloudy Tuesday night with a shower or thunderstorm, low 73 to 77. For Wednesday, variable cloudiness with a couple of showers and a heavier thunderstorm around, the high 84 to 88. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
It's rodeo time in Ocala. The 34th annual Ocala Shrine Pro Rodeo returns to the Southeastern Livestock Pavilion September 2nd and 3rd. 7:30 nightly, cowboys ride to help children walk with all the major events of pro rodeo. Get your tickets now for broncs, bulls, and babes, cowboys, cowgirls, and you. September 2nd and 3rd, the Ocala Shrine Pro Rodeo. Don't miss it.
This is James Snyder, inviting you to join me each Sunday morning at 9:30 for Sunday Joy on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM.
Marion County voters. In recent years, we've seen how a culture of poor leadership has led the Marion County Sheriff's Department astray. Our organization features amazing leaders, humble service, and great neighbors who've been tainted by selfish management. It's time to inspire trust in our Sheriff's Department again. It's time for Kerry Crawford. Kerry brings 36 years of law enforcement plus years of executive experience to this race. More importantly, he won't stack his office with former employees. He'll promote and encourage current employees to grow and to serve. It's time for Kerry Crawford, Sheriff of Marion County. He's ready.
Political advertisement paid for and approved by Kerry Crawford, Republican from Marion County Sheriff.
Hospice of Marion County has an urgent need for volunteers to share a conversation with someone, run errands, hold someone's hand. All you need is a willingness to help others. Our volunteers believe the blessings they receive far exceed the services they offer. Will you consider serving, caring, and making a difference? Call today, 873-7441. Hospice of Marion County, making more moments of life possible.
WWOCA,
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. We are The Source, WUCA, news, talk, sports, and more.
All right, 12 minutes just about before 10 o'clock. Do you know, during the break, we were looking at the weather thing here, and this is serious stuff happening Thursday. You know?
It's just gonna
and as
be,
you mentioned, it's not even a hurricane. That would even be worse.
Right. It's a tropical storm. Again, depending on, I guess, where it's getting close, where it's going to come ashore, will give us whether or not the worse or the better of the weather.
Well,
but we're still got the outer bands. I'm not sure. It's probably a fairly wide storm that's going to be what'll be giving us the bad weather.
The thing is this, that if you are realizing who you're talking to, you have the whole, you're reaching all the way to the Gulf Coast. So you have people who live there. They might be working in Ocala, but they live there.
Right.
Wow.
And that's where you're going to get the most of it, is anywhere, up, like you were saying, I think earlier, Homosassa, Crystal River, Inglis, Yankeetown, Cedar Key, all the way up into the Panhandle. And as I was saying, okay, you do this now because I have a trip coming up in a couple weeks up into the St. Joseph Peninsula, and that's 4 miles off the coast of Florida. So we get this out of its system now, and it can just hopefully no damage to the park up there.
So just to recap, there's a 59% chance that the weather we have on Thursday will be a thunderstorm.
Yeah, only 59% chance?
That's what it says. Yeah, There's a 3.49 inches of rain predicted for Ocala, up to 8 inches over on the Gulf Coast, Crystal River, Cedar Key, Homosassa. It doesn't say Homosassa, but it's got that little,
it has that
red
little area.
line.
Yeah.
And I know a real estate agent in Crystal River, and her office is right across from a cemetery. And when it floods, sometimes those
the
they
crypts
float
can
up.
come up. Yeah,
isn't that crazy?
That is.
How do they float? It's concrete.
It's just they're concrete, but there's
I guess they're hollow or whatever.
Yeah, well, it is. Yeah,
they float like a boat.
Right. So it's one of those kind of things that just watch the weather, be careful out there. Do a little preparation. And again, and I mentioned it earlier. This is not the weekend to put fertilizer down.
Yeah, don't do it
because
now.
we're gonna have a rain event. We know we're having a rain event. Why put something down that when we get this heavy rain, when we get this quantity of rain, that it's just going to take it and just leach it right on through the ground, and into, unfortunately, down into the aquifer, into the groundwater, into the aquifer. Eventually, the lakes, rivers, streams, springs, everything else. Our water quality is very important to us and needs to be. And if you put fertilizers down, say, just a couple of weeks ago, when this passes, don't put down more. It's, the plants took up, just realize, okay, it rained a lot and you lost a bit of it. I would not go back through and put down another synthetic, nitrogen source, because that just becomes too much fertilizer. And that's where we start seeing these non-point source pollution things. No, you may not live on the lake, but whatever perks through or runs down the street from in front of your house is non-point source water pollution.
You know what I'd like to ask, though? Everybody who's a member of your Facebook page.
Yeah.
If you have rainy, I would love to see the pictures.
Of the rain.
Hopefully nothing's damaging, but
right.
Like if you have a little pond in your backyard that you don't normally have.
Right. See some of that water. Yeah. Unfortunately, like I said, I don't work all day on Thursday. I'm sure I will see my yard go underwater.
Lowe's is going to be busy.
The stores have to be. But in the garden center, we'll probably be very quiet. And but we'll
I have
see whether or
one
not my deliveries are
non-weather related question for you, and I think you've touched on this with many listeners before. Yeah. So I have that sago palm, whatever it's called.
Sago. Yeah.
It's got like white dust on it. What is that?
It's the scale. You got
that's an animal?
It's an insect.
An insect.
Yeah, it's an insect.
Is it lots? Is it like thousands?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them on there when you.
So how do you get rid of that?
An oil spray. Usually a horticultural oil, just sprayed to the point of runoff. So to where you're
just
really.
Give me a name that you look for.
It's called horticultural oil.
Just go to
the big box store and
horticultural oil.
Yeah, Lowe's or Home Depot, wherever.
Vegetable oil wouldn't work.
Vegetable oil doesn't blend with water well enough. Then you're putting a little bit of dish soap in, and you could.
Does it spray or do you brush it on?
No, it'll spray.
Really?
The horticultural oils have a like almost like a spreader sticker kind of thing, not a spreader, but to where it'll mix with the water as you're spraying it, and just spray it to where it runs out. No, it's $6 or $7 for a little pint bottle.
Okay,
is the one I'm thinking of. It's about something like $6.97, something like that.
And it's got a sprayer attached to it?
No, it's when you'd have to put in a sprayer.
Oh, yeah.
There is one that's a neem oil that has a hose end sprayer.
It makes it look so ugly. It makes it look like,
and those insects are actually sucking the life out of.
So it's not going to survive.
It's not healthy for the plant. Those fronds will turn yellow prematurely. And you need to spray to get rid of them. Right. That's especially this time of year. I probably wouldn't cut everything off if you don't have to.
We had a lady on the other day who was absolutely against. What's that other spray that I buy? Roundup.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
She told me don't buy that ever again.
Yeah. Well, some people it's just because they hate Monsanto Group, the company.
What do you think? What is your thought on that?
In moderation. I mean, people.
I'm not a farmer.
No,
I'm just spraying the edge of my house.
All you're doing, and you might do that every couple of months.
It's not
like you're
once
out there.
A year. I think I do that.
So you're not overusing it. Some people just have a tendency to get carried away either with that they don't like something, and then there's other people who are out there constantly spraying. Oh my gosh, look, there's a weed there. Now I have to walk through everything and spray all the weeds, and then they wonder why maybe their bush has a brown patch starting on it. Yeah. Well, it's overspray and stunting. It's read and follow label instructions is always my thing. I don't have anything necessarily against the chemical that's in it. The company, some people hate the Monsanto group just because of what they've done with some of the genetic modifications and genetic organization that genetically modified seeds and things like that, and that they claim nobody can, you can't reuse the seed, you're not allowed, this and that. Most farmers do not harvest their own seed. They do buy seed every year. Some will collect theirs, and more than likely, the farmer knows what they're doing.
The one thing that worries me when I hear of a storm coming is the trees.
Yeah.
And we have a tree company called Pride Tree. I just looked up who our sponsor is. That's a tree company.
Right.
Oh my gosh. It's always, at this point, it's too late. If you call them up,
Right.
I mean, maybe they can come out. I don't know, but
they might be able to come out and give you an estimate on what it would be to clean it up, to prune it. But, that's what we always do. We always have a tendency to look before the storm. It's so soon, so it might be the kind of thing you're going, if this was a tree you were thinking about, for months, you're probably a little late now, but you can always call and get an appointment and have it removed for, later.
Yeah, so that the next storm, survive this one and get past the next one.
Right.
Is there a way to thin out the tree
there
so that
can
it
be,
doesn't get affected by the wind?
Yeah, it does take selective pruning of limbs out of trees. You're looking to take out the weak limbs. There's certain ways that the branches are attached to either the adjoining tree that makes it a little more of a weak branch, and just and opening that canopy up some. And many of your tree services, they're going to understand how that goes together and know how to thin out a lot of those branches. But again, this time of year, it's, take a number. These places are pretty busy, especially with the storm. And then anything over the next few days after that storm of any limbs and things like that, they're going to be really busy.
Well, the election folks, because today's election day, they were worried that the storm was going to happen sooner.
Right.
So in their case, it worked out nicely. Because,
right, because they'll be fit. That'll all be over and done.
Yeah.
So it's all good. We'll all, we make it through this. It's a simple tropical storm. We haven't had anything real tropical in a few years.
No, nothing.
Come into Florida or to affect at least central Florida in this area. I think we've had some up in the Panhandle areas.
Yes.
But a lot of stuff skirts central Florida, so we're sort of in a protected area. So we may or may not get a whole lot of that rain. It's hard to say. It will depend on how close it is to the coast on Thursday morning, Wednesday night into Thursday morning, of how much rain we start to get.
Well,
and I would figure that even Wednesday night, this weather's going to start to decline at that point.
And the meteorologists did nudge it a little further north than it was yesterday.
Right,
so
right.
Maybe it's climbing.
And it depends on the wind speeds, right, and the currents and things like that on where it's carrying it.
We've had situations in the past where we were carrying on the radio for days, and then nothing happened.
Yeah, then we end up with the gorgeous weather, and we're going. But you know what? It is better safe than sorry. Plan for the worst, expect the worst, and be happy when we don't get it. Nothing worse than going, it's not going to be anything. We're going to get a little rain, and next thing you know, your lawn chair, or your bird feeder went through your kitchen window.
Right. That's what you don't want.
So keep a mind out on that. As take tomorrow if you don't have between today and tomorrow, and just sort of straighten things. Make sure that you can get them out of the way. If you can, take some time and take out some of the dead palm fronds out of your trees if you can reach them. If you can't reach them, nature will take them out on their own. Dead limbs that you're seeing anywhere near your home, or where your car is. If you can park your car inside, that's gonna, if you have a carport or a garage where you can put the car inside, do so. Lay your bird baths down, or take them inside if they're just the rosin or plastic. Your lawn ornaments, take them in. Just
statuaries.
Your statuary. Just why make projectiles out of the poor things?
Yeah.
The plastic lawn flamingos aren't supposed to fly.
Oh, Doug, you got some lawn flamingos. You better pull them in. I just thought about Doug when you said that. Thank you, Carolyn.
Thanks, Larry.
You're going to be busy over at Lowe's.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a busy day tomorrow.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week.
Yep. All righty.
Hopefully, we'll stay dry and safe.
Oh, sure.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios. Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages.
Fox News Radio, I'm Carmen Roberts.